Hey everyone, my name's Helen Knight, and today we're going to be interviewing one of my amazing clients, Alistair, who helps food entrepreneurs. He's also got his own food, superfood product, which is amazing. We're going to be asking him all about how he got on the program. So let's introduce Alistair. Hi Alistair, lovely to see you again. I just want you to introduce yourself, tell everybody a bit about yourself and your background.
So I'm Alistair. I've been a designer for I don't know how many years now, like I don't know, 15 or 20 or something stupid. And I've had my own business now for about 4 years, maybe 3 years.
Great.
And been doing okay. Been slowly getting a client base, but been struggling through and through really. And so I've got two businesses. So I've got Super Creative, which is a design agency, and then I've also been asked to basically join forces for a hemp company as well.
Okay.
So we're growing hemp up in Northumberland.
Yeah, lovely. And that's super exciting that obviously the kind of people you're helping, it's very related to your other business as well, which is brilliant. That's really exciting. So do you want to just tell everyone, how did you feel really before we met? What was it like? What was do you want to paint a picture of what it was like before we spoke?
Yeah, so I saw a few of your videos and they were really helpful, and I was like, oh well, that's really useful information there. And then I was like, okay, cool. And I think you commented, or I commented on something or liked it, and you were like, oh thanks. And then the conversation started, and I was quite excited actually. And it was I was a bit shell-shocked when I met you finally. I was like, oh, there's that woman that's been doing those videos.
I'm not quite famous yet, but
I'll be honest. Yeah, there she is. Cool.
Great, that's cool. Videos are so powerful. Yeah, absolutely. So when we first met, and you're obviously quite interested in what I had to talk about, how are you feeling at that time? Like, what was the business going through? How was it affecting things? Yeah.
So at the time, I knew that I needed to change some things. My whole personality, being a creative, is just like a bit scatty anyway. I kind of, and I liked maybe looking for some structure. And what you were saying was really resonating with what I was wanting. So that's why I kind of carried on pursuing it, really.
Great. Yeah, excellent. What kind of things were you struggling with, the most? Was it just trying to get more people in, knowing what to say to people? What was it that you were
I think it was actually finding my own clients, actually finding people myself, because I've been quite fortunate really that I've had a nice steady stream of like the odd small clients here and there, which has always kept me quite busy, but not really bringing the money. It was kind of like, although I was busy with work, I wasn't actually finding the clients that I wanted to find. They weren't the high paying clients. And they are also, some of the work was a little bit like, oh, I don't know how to do this. So I had to learn how to do it. It wasn't like I was kind of doing something that I'm very good at and I can easily reel out. So this was very much like gearing me to, do something a bit better and something that I could definitely scale and that I'd enjoy doing.
Okay. So what happened when you first joined the program? Do you want to just share like maybe the key things that you thought were most helpful?
So I think at the beginning, I really enjoyed the fact that you put me in a really good mindset. You kind of set me off on the right track, giving me the boost of energy that I needed to kind of really get me going. And then the information that was provided to me was really enlightening. I kind of there were certain things that were just like, light bulb moments where I was like, brilliant, and really kind of was exciting. I was very nervous actually at the very beginning of one particular thing, because obviously the way the project works was a case of you having to niche down, and that was very uncomfortable for me initially to kind of get that kind of idea of like, oh wow, I mean, my whole business model for the last 4 years is like do everything. say yes to everyone.
Yeah.
So that was like kind of like a real kind of a hard move to do. But apart from that, I was so psyched. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. It's totally normal to feel like that. Lots of people struggle with that part, but some people come and they've already worked it out, but not many. I would say most people find that hard. But hopefully you found the process easy once you started to do the thing you needed to do to narrow that down, and started to realize, what was a good fit, what wasn't a good fit for the business. Yeah. So what would you say? So once you got over that kind of hurdle, what are the key things do you feel you really got out of the process?
So I think that was a big hurdle for me anyway, just trying to narrowing it down. But once I kind of got past that and started finding that niche, it drove me. It kind of gave me that like drive to be like, oh, actually, this is really great. And then the rest of the process was really helpful, and I can kind of just kept on seeing these things that I was like, why am I not doing this before? And it was really enlightening, really helpful.
That's good. And so when you started to put all the pieces together, obviously there's quite a lot to do, I guess. Sometimes people think, oh gosh, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get through, and that's okay. But when you kind of went through everything, even if you didn't get time to do everything, I don't know, did you have like a moment when you started to think bigger, or start to have bigger ambitions with what you had?
Yes. I mean, I could really see how I could grow the company in so many ways once I kind of had like the foundations in place. There was definitely moments in the course where I'm like, oh, this is like really useful, really helpful, and I could really foresee myself kind of going. How's the best way to explain it? There were definitely light bulb moments where I was just kind of, oh wow, of course, this is the way to do it.
Yeah, brilliant.
But and it was like, oh, this is worth the money, just this one little thing, the one little task in there, and it's a whole encompassing project. So that was quite useful, these little nuggets.
Okay, yeah. And I know you mentioned, I hope you don't mind me saying, but I know you definitely said to me something about that you were much more confident with the conversation you were having, like when you were trying to talk about closing deals and things like that. Is that something that helped?
Yeah. There was, I think, there was times when I was like, I was doing things because I thought that was the way to do them, but actually for my mind and the way I work, this program was so much better, and closing deals was a lot. It's fantastic to actually just get agreements on the phone rather than write long proposals and wait weeks. And because I used to spend hours creating proposals. Like I used to spend like a whole day doing a proposal, and then like you're just so hard and hurt and cut up when like no one gets back to you.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's kind of like I can play on what I'm good at, which is just a friendly face, talking to someone, and like kind of going with the flow. And I have improved my my talking skills, and once you kind of get a structure of what to say, and you're not like jibber jabbering so much, and you kind of like can kind of cut through the fluff and really get down to business.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, I mean that's a massive step forward. Well done. So what did you really like about the program the most? What would you say was the best part of it so far that you've experienced?
I think it was understanding the new ways to work, having someone to guide you, because like I've never, from a freelance perspective, I've got an understanding of how to work with clients a little bit, but from working for the man and in an industry, to go into becoming your own boss, there was so many elements that just no one teaches you. I think some of there's a whole array of things within the course that were really helpful for just guiding me on the right path, and actually planning and understanding that, right, I need to really plan myself to be able to guide to where I want to go. That was probably the best part of the course, was actually kind of having a better understanding of actually what I want from the business rather than what my clients want. And that was really important to kind of like lay that down. I think it was probably the highlight of the course. Yeah.
Okay, great. That sounds good. Sometimes when I talk to a lot of people about their companies and what it takes to be successful, sometimes they've got these big misconceptions or limiting beliefs about things. So I hope you don't mind me just I want you to kind of reassure these people that you don't have to have a massive online following. You don't have to, do paid advertising, or have I don't know, loads of work in your portfolio. I don't know how you feel about that, but yeah, there's lots of things that people sometimes feel that they've got to have ready first, and often that's not the case. It's doing things in the right order.
No, definitely not. I mean, I have, as I said, I've got a few years experience, but they were all in kind of different areas. And once you kind of, what I was choosing for my niching area was something that I haven't really done before. And it was exciting to kind of see how the process and how it all kind of unfolds. And you really don't need to have any online presence. Well, I don't, you can literally go in and create a new LinkedIn account and do it all properly that way. But yeah, I think once you realize that there's groups out there to tap into, and all you're really doing is finding that there's hundreds of people out there looking for you, trying to find you. And if you kind of put yourself in the right position and explain to yourself that you're a professional in this particular field, then they'll listen to you, because that's exactly what they're looking for. So it's just kind of like matching up those two things together. And you don't need to pay for it. You just need to find the right rooms and sources. And I was amazed how easy that was, actually. As soon as I kind of did the research, you could see the doors opening. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, it is exciting. It is really exciting when people start to, implement all these things and just realize, actually, when they discover where their ideal client is hanging out, and they know what to do, what to say, and all that kind of thing. It's just, it's super exciting. So now that you've obviously got a much better understanding of the foundations of what to do consistently to gain the right clients, you feel like you're quite happy to use that process? Like you're quite confident with it now, or how do you feel about it?
I'm confident that the process works. It's just a case of putting that effort in to kind of, follow the rules, and kind of making sure that you kind of don't get stuck with old habits. And I've got plenty of old habits I need to break. That I still need to kind of crack on with. And also finding that everyone's different, and it doesn't matter if you screw up a few times, because there's plenty more fish in the sea, as it were, to kind of carry on and learn from your mistakes.
Absolutely. Perfect. It is a learning process, so nobody gets everything right first time, and it's just realizing that you're on a journey, and you just keep practicing those skills, and you will keep improving. But it's just knowing what to do. As long as you're implementing it, then you're gonna do really well.
There's a roadmap there. It's just remembering to stick to it.
Absolutely. You said that well. Absolutely. So what would you recommend to anyone that was thinking about getting some help, maybe has seen me online and sure whether it was a good fit for them? Would you give any advice, or what would you say to them?
If you find that you've not got enough work, then definitely this is a good way of getting it. And also, not only are you going to be getting the good work, you're going to be getting the work that you want to get. This is the most important thing. I think, because I'm talking to the people, and I've been there, I'm talking to the people that are a bit depressed because they're not getting the work that they want, and they're feeling like they can't do this, and they kind of they're struggling to just find that work. As soon as you've got one or two clients, then you kind of like really can kind of run with it, and you have that passion to kind of go again. And if you're in that slump, it's a really catch-22 really, because this is perfect opportunity for you to jump on it and run with it. If you've got some work and you're kind of like being a bit mad like I am, then it's a bit more of a struggle to kind of keep on track. But no, it is really good.
But
sorry, hopefully I'm not jackering too.
You are just learning to manage your time. I think that's what it is, isn't it? But I understand. Absolutely. I work with lots of clients that are, very similar, and some bigger agencies that I work with, they've got tons of work, but they just realize that that they need to be in control of that process, because you can't always rely on referrals. It's it's not an easy game when you're only relying on contacts and old friends and that kind of thing. So I
think you need to put time into your business. It's not about just doing the work. You need to really put the time into your business, and we all know that, but some people don't know where to start, and this is a perfect way to literally start, especially if you haven't done it before and you've just come out of working for another company. This is perfect, because you're then given like the guide to do what you want to do, basically.
Brilliant. Amazing. Well, thank you very much for giving your feedback. That's been really helpful today, and really excited for you as well and your journey. So I want you to keep me updated on how you're getting on, and obviously reach out.
Will do.